2 people have been confirmed dead and over 30 vehicles burned following early morning fire that engulfed the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation pipeline at Ijegun, a Lagos suburb. Suspected pipeline vendors were said to have ignited the fire at about 5 a.m. on Thursday at Fire Junction Ijegun in a bid to prevent security operatives from pursuing them. According to the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, the vendor has siphoned premium motor spirit (PMF) into a 33,000 liters capacity tanker and were loading a second one when the security operative intercepted them. Chief Executive Officer of the LASEMA, Femi Oke Osatelu, said the vendor spilled some of the PMFs which entered drainage while fleeing and allegedly light a fire that followed the spilled content backward.
The National Economic Council Committee on Farmers' Headers Crisis has confirmed the suspension of the Ruga program initiated by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. Briefing State House correspondent after a meeting with Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi, who spoke for the committee after the meeting, said the suspension is owing to lack of consistency with the NEC and federal government approved National Livestock Transformation Plan.
With the NEC Committee on Farmers' Headers Crisis, under the chairmanship of His Excellency Mr. Vice President, we met today to deliberate on the approved program of National Economic Council and federal government, tagged the National Livestock Transformation Program. We are aware that today that Mr. President has suspended the implementation of Ruga program initiated and being implemented by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources because it is not consistent with the NEC and federal government approved National Livestock Transformation Plan, which has programs of rehabilitation of displaced IDPs resulting from the crisis and also development of ranching in any willing state of the Federation. The word is willing state of the Federation. The National Livestock Transformation Plan, its beauty is that what NEC and federal government approve is a voluntary program to all the 36 states who may like to participate. So it's not compulsory, it is for any state that is willing. We came to the program. Any state that is interested in this program is required to bring up a development plan that is keyed towards the implementation in line with our own program here that is unique to his state based on the challenges that he has in respect of the crisis.
It will be recalled that the news of the Ruga settlement initiative by the federal government has met stiff opposition from most of the southern states of the country. Those at the meeting are governors of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, Plateau State, Simon Lalong, Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu, and the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
The Nigerian Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the allegation of assault preferred against Senator Elisha Cliff Abo, representing Adamawa North, on a woman at the sex toy shop in Abuja. Senator Abo has been a subject of criticism by a cross-section of Nigerians since the video of his assault on the lady hit the internet. This matter came up for mention on the floor of the Red Chamber when Kaduna Central Senator Uba Sani brought up the issue under the privilege, citing Order 15 of the Senate Standing Rule. As matter continued to generate massive debate, Senator Abo is now receiving knock from his colleague in the Senate, with Senator Uba Sani describing his action as unacceptable.
In the media, that one of the distinguished senators here, in the person of Senator Elisha Ishaku, Adamawa North, he was caught in a video which has gone viral. What happened yesterday has caused a lot of pains on me, and I'm sure to a lot of women around the world, not only in Nigeria here. I therefore call on this distinguished Senate to take a decisive action to redeem the image of this Senate. Between yesterday in the evening till this morning, I've received not less than 111 calls, not only from this country, but even from outside the country. And I believe we should stand and take a decisive action to redeem the credibility of this very distinguished Senate. Mr. President, I hereby call on this distinguished Senate to take a decisive action. Thank you very much.
In their separate submission, numbers of senators, including Senate Leader Abdullah Yahya and the Leader of the Opposition, Eyinaya Abari, call for thorough investigation into the matter before jumping to conclusion.
It was an extremely tragic news, but we cannot afford to be sensational about this. On the other hand, Mr. President, Nigerians must also be able to see us very clearly as people who are willing and ready to lead by example. And I believe that much as we must ensure that our colleague does not suffer for what he did not do, assuming without considering that he didn't do this. On the other hand, we must be able to also protect the rights of a Nigerian who obviously have been reported to have been violated. What we read in the news, Mr. President, is in clear violation of the provisions of sections 33, 34, and 35 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, which provide respectively for the right to life, right to dignity of human person, and right to personal liberty. Mr. President, I believe there's a need for this, Senate, to be able to set up an ad hoc committee to be able to thoroughly investigate this and give each side a fair hearing so that in the eye of the public and to our own conscience, we would have been able to ensure that justice is not only dispensed in this matter, but that it is done so transparently.
In our rule books, Section 56 states very clearly the mode of behavior of each and every one of us. But as you have rightly pointed out, whatever behavior we exhibit inside here, it is assumed that we should also do the same outside. As I pointed out yesterday, we are 109 privileged Nigerians. That means that if you're privileged, it comes with responsibilities. So I thank you, Mr. President, that you have already set the stage for it by saying that we cannot apportion guilt. We cannot at this moment determine who is right or who is wrong, or even if it happened, because we are now getting other stories concerning that incident. So I therefore, Mr. President, want us, each within this chamber, to suspend judgment until we can investigate this matter further. That will be in the interest of justice to all. That will also be in the interest of justice to Nigerians who look upon us to show example. I so support, Mr.
The issues have now become very clear. We cannot rise in judgment without having the full facts and dimension of the case. People cannot be condemned. There is a right of fair hearing in the Nigerian Constitution. So, Mr. President, I support the position of the minority leader and the sentiments that have been expressed by both Obasani and Senator Opemi Bamidele. Therefore, I will suggest, Mr. President, that an ad hoc committee be set up so that we can thoroughly investigate this issue before coming to any form of judgment. I so submit, Mr. President.
In his remark, President of the Senate, Lawal, directed the committee to turn in their report within 2 weeks.
From both within this country and outside, on the incident that went viral, and I believe that this Senate is going to be very responsive and responsible. We cannot condone any act of violence by anyone. If there is any allegation against any of us here, we cannot but deal with it in such a manner that will ensure that justice prevails. We are going to set up a bipartisan ad hoc committee to investigate those allegations. And that will be an opportunity for our colleague, Senator Elisha Abo, to defend himself on those allegations against him. But it will also be an opportunity for the lady that was assaulted to present and prove her case. And this Senate, I want to assure Nigerians, will continue to be here for Nigerians. It is going to be a Senate that will work for Nigerians.
The ad hoc committee is chaired by Senator Sam Ego, as members Senator Oluremi Tinubu, Matthew Rogede, Senator Stella Oda, among others.
Discover the tangible magic of our hospitality that is all about you. The Wells Curtain Hotel and Apartments is a surely fantasy-like journey into a glamorous world of pure luxury and gratifying indulgence. The Wells Curtain Hotel and Luxury Apartments offers guests a perfect blend of relaxation, business and pleasure, delicately infused to meet the highest international standards. It's first-class service at its finest. Our commitment to exceed your expectations means impeccable attention to detail, courtesy, and a genuine care for your every need. Located at number 8 Gadonasco Street, off Jose Martin at Sokoru, Abuja, Nigeria. You can call us on +234 908 7561269 or visit our website at wellscutting.com. Upgrade your stay at the Wells Curtain Hotel and Luxury Apartments, an experience guaranteed to leave you breathless with longing.
The senator representing Adamawa North Senatorial District, Senator Elisha Abo, has apologized to Nigerians, the People Democratic Party, and the women in general following a viral video in which he was seen physically assaulting a lady. He made the apology at a press conference at PDP Secretariat in Abuja. Abo assured Nigerians, especially the youth of Adamawa North, of his good conduct at all times. The senator, who was close to the chair at the briefing, asked for forgiveness, saying it is not in his character to assault women. The lawmaker action have been widely condemned, including the Amnesty International and opposition presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. The Nigerian Senate on Wednesday raised a panel with a 2-week mandate to investigate and submit a report on the assault.
Acting Registrar National Examination Council NECO Abubakar Ghana has attributed the sophistication of examination malpractices to global technology growth. The acting registrar made this known in Kefi, Nasarawa State during a one-day capacity building workshop for Education Correspondent Association of Nigeria, ECAN. Ghana, represented by Director of Examination Abdul Mustafa, said technology is aiding people to do whatever they needed to do together in a short period.
Therefore, since the world has gone digital, development has gone digital. But every development goes with two main phenomena. That is explosion in rapid development due to technology, and at the same time, globalization. These are the two phenomena that actually are at play in the world today. And since the world is developing, there are a lot of positives in the development. And there are equally as many negatives as the positives to every form of development. So the presentation is focusing on, is mirroring the actual negative aspects.
He assured that the examination body has gone 10 times ahead to checkmate the trending malpractices and reduce it to the barest minimum.
When we came on board, we discovered that even the website was not secure. So, and it is suicidal for an examination body to operate an insecure, website, because it can be hacked, and then candidates can hack and change anything. I think recently you've had JAMB, complain of that kind of hacking, and that explains why the council had to develop a new corporate website, which is actually .gov, which is actually very, very difficult to hack and very, very secure. That was one. Then on the platform, there were a lot of, malpractices associated with the use of cards, scratch cards for registration, scratch cards for result checking, and so on. So the council saw that we cannot continue to use those cards. So a new application was developed on that corporate website.
As we are developing platforms that will checkmate exam malpractice, the candidates are also not resting. They are also studying, researching, and seeing how they can also continue with their business, particularly those syndicate that specializes in examination malpractice, because exam malpractice is a huge industry and there are people that invest so much in exam malpractice. So each year that we brings out a way of blocking their businesses in court, they also go back to the drawing table and see how they can also circumvent the system and continue on their usual business. So what we do every year is to ensure that we look at what we've done in the past and then come up with new innovations.
Chairman Ekan, Chuks Ikwatu, and other members of the association commended the council for building the capacity of journalists covering education bits.
But if you understand now, we're in a digital age whereby it has gone scientific. You know, you now see students use phones, candidates use wristwatches and the rest things. So definitely it's a dynamic world, and I think there is need for us to understand what it is. So we felt there is need for us to call the examination bodies, to tell us what they are doing to address this concern, and also to help us in our reportage, that when we are reporting issues of examination malpractice, we'll be taking it from the right perspective, at least from the point of knowledge.
Corruption encompasses cheating, exam malpractice, and all sorts that is not taking money from the purse. People just think that corruption is all about taking money in the purse. Exam malpractice is a bigger means of corruption.
It's endemic in Nigerian society, not only in Nigeria, across the world. But it's so sophisticated in Nigeria that it occurs between some parents and their children, paying individuals to write exams for you. Smuggling in materials that you have written, certain answers about some questions that might come out, and then you help yourself and sneak it out from somewhere. Some they go as far as hiding it everywhere, part of their body. Is that funny?
In Kefi, Nasarawa State, LM Chukwemeka reports.